Ты будешь писать на доске, ты сам ее расшаришь или как? Тогда я должен, наверное, как-то это разрешить сейчас.
Разреши.
А я
Да,
не
я
знаю.
расшарю.
Allow... А нет, я не я как-то написано, что allow to participant... вот туда, по-моему, и так уже разрешено. Попробуй.
Мгм. Так, сейчас.
Here is Laurent.
Как у меня хороший микрофон, Саша?
Ну, так приемлемый. More or less okay, but... Okay,
It's very expensive.
Very expensive? Okay.
Yeah, I got it as a birthday present from all my family. My son, my daughter, my wife.
Yeah, but then you can, I think you can decrease a bit the volume, then it will be even better. The sound.
Okay. How do I do it?
I guess you can do it with your Windows, no?
It's not Windows.
Okay, with whatever you have, you think you can. Okay. Google Jamboard. It looks like...
It works.
Okay. It's better. Oh no, it's... I should... Oh, it's better.
Well, now it's... Yeah, it was okay. Maybe even more you can decrease even more.
Even less. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
now
why I don't see anything on your view only, so I cannot write anything good.
But first I will share something else. This one. Let's see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Japaridze
Okay.
in the beginning was game semantics.
Yeah. You can observe it.
Yeah. Good. Oh, yeah, 3 people waiting. Sorry.
So do we have recording, by the way?
Yeah, yes. I started recording.
Good.
I think you have been asked about the recording, no?
No, I haven't. And in this earphones, I do not hear myself actually, almost. So maybe that's the reason I'm trying to cry loud. Yeah. Because you see, they have quite different forms. They surround the ears.
Yeah. No, especially if they have a noise canceling, then it will be especially.
So maybe I can start.
No.
So
there are people just coming, and I have to admit them.
Okay, why don't you admit them?
No. They come one by one. So
there is a button admit all, by the way.
No, there is not such a. Misha Valley is coming.
So CNRS has a quite
and
different.
Also Volodya Vyugin, I guess it's Volodya.
So I will start with the joke. So it's not important.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter whether
it's allowed not to laugh. Okay.
All the people hear it or not. So in today's talk, we will have mostly definition. definitions, almost no theorems and or
Just one
proofs.
at the end. Okay.
Maybe one on the end. And that reminds me the joke which I heard from a German professor. He said, do you know what's the difference between mathematicians and computer scientists? The difference is that mathematicians produce theorems from coffee and computer scientists produce definitions from coffee. So personally, myself, I think that that's not fair. So sometimes we also produce theorems, but not now, not today. In today's talk, we'll have mostly definitions. Everything.
I heard this idea about mathematicians and theorems from Silvio Michele. When I went to the MIT, they told me that we should go to a coffee because we need to do this. But so, yeah. Okay.
And
yeah.
Here you see 4 papers, and almost everything I will tell about is from one of these 4 papers. So 2 of them are by Blass, one of them is by Japaridze, and the last one is ours with Mezhirov. By the way, what is his first name?
No,
Ilya.
Ilya, right.
Misha is Degtyaryov, who is coming now.
Yeah.
I'm sorry for
so let me then share my whiteboard. So I will write something. Can you see? Oh no.
No, I can see
I need to make another share, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, now I think
now
you
I
can
see
see it. Yeah. So let's start with a quite philosophical question. So what is an algorithmic problem? Algorithmic problem is a problem to construct an algorithm which performs some task. But what task? Can we identify some quite general set of tasks so that we can say that algorithmic problem is a problem to solve one of the tasks from this family? And there are several approaches to do this. The most famous are
Medvedev lattice,
yeah, mass problems by Medvedev. Somehow they called mass problems or Medvedev lattice.
Yeah. It's Yuri Tikhonovich Medvedev was his name. He was a student of Kolmogorov at the time, I guess.
So I will talk about this something in the very end, I guess. And the second one is games. So we will identify a family of games and say a computer problem is always a problem to of constructing an algorithm that computes a winning strategy in the game.
It's not an algorithm, just the task is to win the game.
The task is to win the game.
We don't say against whom we play or how we play, win the game.
So game.
What sort of games?
Right.
That's a good question.
That's a good question, and here is an answer. So there are several suitable families of games, but always, and I will identify one of them. Actually, that's not me, that's Japaridze. He has identified a family of games which are most suitable to define algorithmic problems. But in all the approaches of this type, a game is an infinite one with perfect information between 2 players. Japaridze calls them machine and environment. They play in turn each move in the play is a finite object, say a natural number, and after infinite countable number of moves is made, we just look whether the resulting infinite sequence of finite object belongs to some pre-specified set. If it is in this set, then machine wins, otherwise the environment wins. That sort of game were considered, for example, by Martin when he proved his theorem about determinacy of barrel games. So Misha, is it a good answer, I mean?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm satisfied.
Okay, but they are not very convenient to the problem I have discussed. We will somehow restrict this class of games, and I will explain further why we make such a restriction. So Japaridze call these games static games. Static games.
Yeah.
More or less, static game is a Martin game.
Actually, they are Banach-Mazur games.
What is Banach-Mazur game?
Almost the same, but you should choose intervals on real line. So the only difference is more specified representation of these finite objects.
But it's not a finite object, I guess, an interval.
No, you should choose in Banach-Mazur game. You should choose a rational interval with rational.
I see, but that's not convenient to identify.
Yeah, I see. I see. Your definition is nice. Okay.
In the static games, the definition of static games is more or less the following: consider Martin games, and then say that the winning conditions from both players is satisfies the following requirement. It doesn't hurt if you postpone a certain move. So assume that you have made a certain move now. If you postpone it, for example, for 3 moves, that doesn't hurt you. More or less, this is informal. This is an informal definition. And formally, static games are defined as follows. So a move looks as follows. A move is either machine M dot a finite object, say N, or environment dot N. This means that
so machine is us. So
machine is us, right?
The Muchnik would say it's mathematicians at nature. Yeah.
So environment.
Yeah.
It's mathematician and nature, yeah. Machine and environment. A move is an object like that.
And where n is just natural number and m is a letter. Yeah.
M and E are just letters, 2 letters. And a run is a sequence of moves like
alternating or not?
No, not necessarily. And so it might be either finite or infinite.
So it's kind of a game when you can just do nothing, and at some time you decide to make a move.
Right. All right. And now we have a set, 2 sets, call it M and E, which split the partition, the set of all moves. The set of all moves is partitioned in 2 subsets, M and E, sorry.
A move or runs?
Oh, yeah, on runs, sorry.
Which are winning for M and E.
Yeah, these are winning for mathematician, these are winning for environment. And
So all finite at infinite runs are know who wins.
Yes, yes. And this partition has the following property, which just more or less explains why the game is static. Assume that we have a run which is winning for mathematician or environment, and assume that some moves in that run are moved to the future without changing the order of the moves of mathematicians or environment. For example, assume that this run is made after this and not before this. If this run was winning for, say, environment, then the resulting run is winning for environment as well. So this is the definition.
No, for not for environment, for mathematician. So if
sorry.
mathematician
is
postponing the move, that's
yes.
profitable for mathematician.
Yes, right. And Japaridze called this run a delay of this run. So this is delaying operation. Delaying, I guess.
So, for example, the typical thing when, like Muchnik likes, imagine.
I don't understand. What permutations are permitted, and they always change a winner.
No, they don't change a winner. If some run is if winning for one player, then if we move these players forward, if we postpone some moves of these players, keeping the ordering, still we have a winning run for the same player.
Keeping the
ordering. It's not like in chess. In chess, you cannot just wait to make some move.
Oh yes, so you should preserve the order of moves
of your own moves
machine,
and the moves of your opponent. But your moves can be moved to the right.
Yes. So we preserve the order.
My moves can be moved over moves of my opponent, not over my moves.
Yeah.
Sure.
Of course.
Sure. The order of your moves is the same. The order of machines moves, of environment moves is the same. Only you interchange, so to say, the order. So that means that postponing never hurts to you. Postponing your moves.
Okay, let me ask a question for all participants. So imagine that mathematicians and environment both construct two sequences of zeros and one, and the move is just adding the new element to the sequence. So they don't interfere with each other. Each player constructs its own sequence.
For example, this is our sequence.
Yeah.
And this is machine sequence
and
environment.
Yeah, and the goal of each player is to for example, the goal of player M is to construct a more complicated sequence than the environment. So the environment sequence should his sequence should not be computable given the environment sequence.
So machine wins.
Machine wins if
alpha is not reducible to beta.
If alpha is not reducible to beta. So if
this is machines sequence, this is environment sequence.
Yeah. So the idea is to construct something very complicated, more complicated that all that opponent can construct. So the game is static because only the limit sequences matter. So you always can postpone your moves getting the same sequence. And of course, if you get a finite sequence, you lose. So you need to construct an infinite sequence, which is not.
Because a finite sequence is
always computable, so we don't need to say it specifically.
It reduces to everything.
Yeah. So this is the game. And now questions for the participants. Who wins in this game?
But wait. Postpone your question a little bit. I haven't yet specified how we play such a game. And it's not a trivial question because the order of moves is not specified yet. And the good thing about static games is that it doesn't matter. The order of move, the turn to move doesn't matter at all. The only thing we need to give each participant an opportunity to make countably many moves. For example, we may assume that environment starts in its turn. It may have any finite number of moves, and after that, machine can make, for example, one move only, and so on. So there are several ways. I think 8 natural ways to play such a game, and it doesn't matter which of 8 moves, 8 ways to play to choose. For example, why 8? Because there are 2 options who starts the game, and there are 2 options to define what a player can make in his turn. The first one, either pass or make one move, and the second option, either pass or make finite number of moves. So each player has a binary choice, and so we obtain 2 times 2, and also another binary choice is who starts the game.
But in our definition of the winning condition can be applied to all sequences of moves, independently in which order they are made, because we have this condition of delaying, and delaying can change the order, change the number of moves. So the condition is defined for all sequences.
The condition, I mean, the division in
division of M and E, we divide all sequences of
all
M
sequences
independently of how they're organized. But then we can, when we play the game, there is a kind of a lemma. It doesn't matter if a player can win in the game when they have to alternate, or can make alternate or pass, or if they are allowed to make more moves than one or pass, and who starts is not important. This all these lemmas are true because of this delaying condition.
Misha, is it clear why all the ways to play a game are identical?
Equivalent.
Yes.
Equivalent.
Under this condition of
delaying
delaying,
doesn't hurt. So if there is a strategy, you always can postpone your strategy and wait until the enemy does something.
I see.
No, there is a technical thing. If both players pass infinitely, who wins?
Then we obtain a finite run, and a finite run can be also
a finite run can be classified. Yeah. So it's easy to imagine that they play in different rooms. They see each other moves, and they do whatever they want in any time they want. And even they can move with Zoom. They can watch each other moves with some delay. So if you see your opponent with some delay, he can make a lot of moves, and then you see only some of them, and you have to make a move, and then you make a move, and he. So it's just very.
And so,
maybe, sorry, is it possible to establish one of these lemmas? Because, I mean, you're saying that's
okay.
true, but
so
I don't have time
say which one you want to establish, and we will tell you that it's obvious.
Okay, let's say that I don't know. If you can win in the alternating game.
Yeah.
So assume machine starts, M starts, and they alternate.
Yeah.
Alternate means that they can make either pass or make one move. So if you are forced to make a move, it's sometimes bad. it's not allowed to force you making a move. Maybe you want to wait until.
So alternating moves in each turn, you either pass or make one move, right?
Yeah, and then you assume that that machine has a winning strategy, or either of them has a winning strategy. Then show that the same guy has a winning strategy when the machine starts, and they can make an arbitrary finite number of moves.
Okay, so imagine you have a winning strategy for machine in the first game. So machine makes one move, reacting on one move or pass.
Mm-hmm.
And now you are in a more complicated situation when machine can make several moves. So how will you play against this machine?
Yeah, environment.
Environment can make several moves.
Yeah, I mean, you just well, let's see. You want to say that I can just ignore? I mean, machine makes some finite number of moves, and after that, I just react to the first one of the.
Yeah, you just imagine that the other moves are on the way. You see only the first one. And then you do something as you would do.
Yeah, but then I don't see.
Yeah.
It's kind of then I need to show that I think I need that a winning condition is preserved under moving my moves to the left, not to the right.
No, imagine that you are reacting. Now the opponent makes many moves.
Yeah.
So the opponent's environment has made 3 moves, for example, A, B, C.
Yeah.
Right? Previously, you reacted to this sequence of moves by D, right? And you won.
Yeah. So the previously, A, D, there was something, right? And I think I want to move D.
No. The old game was when you can react only for one move, and the new game when you can react for many moves. When the opponent can make many moves.
Yeah. Okay.
So previously you have this run, right?
No.
No.
Previously you had
AD. E point A, M point D.
So right, like that.
And E point B?
Yeah, something like that. And this thing was winning for machine.
This was previously, right?
Yeah.
And now you have this one.
I see.
You see that D is moved to the right, not to the left.
Okay.
Excuse me, does the lane work both for machine and for environment, or just for machine?
For both.
For both.
Yeah.
And it's only the lane, not hurrying. So
yes.
Only.
Okay. Yes, that's important.
Okay.
And so now we can solve Sasha's question.
Yeah. So let someone solve these questions.
So what's again
the game is that both players construct their own sequence of zeros and ones.
Yeah.
And mathematicians want to be more ingenious than the environment. So her sequence should not be Turing reducible to environment sequence.
I mean, we consider all strategies or computable ones or something.
No. That's a game. We don't have any strategies. The game is defined. No. Forget
and now Sasha asks whether we consider we are looking for computable strategy or for any strategy.
No, it's a moral game, so someone should win.
Who wins?
So just my question is who wins, and the question of whether the strategy is computable is another story.
Can't environment just copy mathematician's string?
Yeah, environment can win in a very easy way, environment can postpone the moves until mathematician makes the move. And then environment just copies the same string, same sequence, whether finite or infinite. And therefore,
environment wins.
Environment wins.
In
And
a
now,
computable way, by the way.
Is it a computable strategy? Yes, it is. Because you don't do anything. Okay. And if reducible to beta, who wins?
Sorry, what?
If the opposite, if mathematicians want that her alpha is reducible to beta, who wins?
Just write any computable sequence, for example, empty.
Yeah, try any computable sequence or just do nothing, you get an empty sequence which is reducible to everything. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so we are now have some ideas. What are the... Actually, these games are used in Kolmogorov complexity in the following way. Both mathematicians and environment declare something to be empty, to be simple. Sorry, to be simple, and just the number of strings that has complexity less than n should not be bigger than 2 to the n. And then they each of them define her own complexity function, and then this should be. So this is a typical way to apply these games.
And so we will now just identify algorithmic problems with static games. Algorithmic problems.
And it's informally understood as problem to play as a mathematician in this game.
Right. For example, how would you define a problem corresponding, which is denoted by dec A, means decide a set A of natural numbers? That's a question to the audience.
Yeah, I mean, probably...
There is no opponent. We just need to decide the set of natural numbers, yeah?
No, wait. A is the set of natural numbers. For each
subset, we have a problem.
Yeah, decide A. So
we just need to compute the characteristic function of A. And
but then
it's not a game, Sasha. It's not a game. So what means compute a characteristic function?
The opponent also can make some moves, but they do not. The referee ignores the opponent completely.
No, okay. Assume that A is a set of even numbers. What moves should machine make?
0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1. No, not exactly 0, 1, but 0 on place 0, 1 on place 1, 0 on place 2. So it should define the...
No, we will define it in quite a different way. Sorry, not in this one.
So decide A will be a different problem. Okay.
Sure. So environment makes a move, which is a natural number.
And you say 0, 1.
Yeah, and the answer should be 0 or 1. And so essentially this is a two moves game. Everything else doesn't matter. And environment starts with a move and machine replies 0 or 1.
Oh.
Is this easier? I think this is easier.
No, it's different.
More natural. It's a different game.
Yeah.
It's a different game and more natural, I guess.
So take our move before the environment sets the number.
We lose.
No, we can win if we are lucky. And the environment.
No. Let's define for simplicity that we lose.
I don't understand what are the winning sets for environment.
So the winning set is the following one. It contains all two entry sequences of this type, such that this is a correct answer to the question where n belongs to A.
And even after the questions.
So if this is correct, this belongs to M. If not correct, then it belongs to E. So if the sequence starts with this guy and no answer, it belongs to E. If it is empty, it belongs to M. And if it starts with the move of machine, it belongs to E.
No, and
So
also
M wins in this game, yeah?
It depends on whether this answer is correct or not.
No, the M can win in the game in terms of
It has a winning strategy.
It has a winning strategy.
But computability
it has a
of this
computable
strategy is
if and only if A is decidable. So lemma.
So actually, algorithmic problem is not a problem of solving game. It's a problem of computability of winning strategies.
Right. It's a problem to design a computable winning strategy.
No, it's like in Medvedev. For example, you have a set and you have a problem, enumerate the set in any order. It's the old sequences which enumerate the set. And so, of course, you always can enumerate the set, but you have a computable solution, if and only if the set is enumerable. So it's like here. Here, the general strategy exists for M all the time, but to have a computable strategy for M, we need A to be decidable.
Yes. I would also add that we say that a static game is decidable if machine has a computable winning strategy.
Yeah, it's not very good terminology, because usually decide the game means that prove that one of the players has a winning strategy.
Okay, computably decidable.
Yeah.
Oh no, sorry. Also,
okay, decidable if M has a winning computable strategy.
Mm-hmm. Now the next challenge to provide a good definition is how to define enum. Enum is from enumerable.
Enumerate A.
Yeah, enumerate A. What's
Shane
the game?
already explained it.
No, if I was not criticized by my first definition, I would say that you just need to ignore the environment and produce an enumeration of A. But
so I'm sorry, Sasha. Now you are right.
Okay.
Probably I should start with that game. So indeed, in this game, we can just ignore environment's move. Let's say that the moves of machine are just natural numbers, and they should form the set A. Misha, is it clear?
No, it's a kind of definition. The statement is this enum A is decidable game if and only if A is computably enumerable. Mm-hmm. This is obvious.
Mm-hmm. As I said, only obvious theorem.
Yeah.
And now I guess I need also the third one. Sep from separate A and B, where A and B are
disjoint set of natural numbers.
What is this game?
No, now I have two examples, and so there are two definitions, I guess. One is just the opponent gives you a promise, an element with a promise that's either in A or in B, and you should say where it is.
Mm-hmm. Sorry. So I mean, before that, in normal terms, we want a decidable set which contains A and with B.
Right. Yeah. Right.
And then we want a game interpretation of that.
Sasha, this definition is not good because it's very easy for the opponent to win this game. The opponent can't provide a move which is outside the union of A and B.
Yeah.
Let's make the game simpler for the opponent. Probably this is the second your version, right? What was you said that you have two definitions in mind?
No, the second definition that it gives any element and you can
Yes.
provide some answer.
Yes.
But you are not obliged to do anything in case if the question is not in A and B.
Oh, okay. Bad. Again, bad. So, Sasha, and another Sasha Kazachinsky, what is your choice?
Let's see. So, I mean, sorry, maybe I'll repeat. Sorry, what was? So
Sasha has made two definitions. First one, environment.
No, let's forget about the first one. It's obviously not good. But second
okay,
one.
the second one. Environments makes a move.
Yeah, say some number.
If that move is outside.
If it's an A, you should say yes. If it's
right
in B, you should say no. Otherwise, you're free to do it.
You are free to what?
But no, my second.
You say yes or no.
Idea you can you have to
you
answer
must
something.
Say something or not. If you are silent, do you win or lose?
You lose. Or you lose.
Right.
Yes.
This is the right definition. So you should answer something for this move. Otherwise, you lose. And
if we don't have this requirement, then if we have two enumerable sets A and B, there is a computable strategy. We just wait until it appears in one of the enumerations, and then we are.
So, and if N belongs to the union of A and B, you must answer 0 and 1 correctly. 0 if it is in B and 1 if it is in A.
Yeah.
So answer something, say M, and if M belongs to A, M should be 0, and otherwise, if it is in B, then it should be 1. And it's important that you should answer something in any case. So that's the winning condition for machine.
But also we can provide different definitions. For example, we can allow the opponent to ask several questions. So the opponent says, what about this, what about that, what about that? And we have to provide, this is okay, in 0, this is 1, this is 1, this is 0, and so on.
Not this time.
Game.
Let's do not allow that. In our options, in our definition, the opponent can make only one move, and we need to provide only one answer.
Yeah, but still, if we change this in this way, we still have a computable strategy for M, if and only if the sets are separable.
Right.
But still, you declare that for some higher reasons, which I do not understand now, your definition is better.
Right. So we will obtain other definitions just using some natural operation on static games. That's why I want to consider now only simplest games of this type. So, and now the lemma states that this game has a computable winning strategy for mathematician if and only if A and B are separable, computably separable, which is trivial. Now we want to define some operation on games. Mostly we want to define implication in a way that it mimics Turing reducibility. For instance, we want to define a game enum of A and enum of B, sorry, enum of complement of A, implication dec A. Actually, we want to define these two operations, conjunction and implication, on games in such a way that this game is always winnable. I mean, it's winnable for all set A, even for non-enumerable sets.
So you have some uniform strategy probably that wins it.
Yes, we should have some uniform strategy which wins such games. And now I proceed to some natural operations on games.
Yeah, but maybe for people who have heard this, who haven't heard this before, I should let's say just a comment. So you can play, I don't know, chess and checkers, and then you consider new games, which is chess and checkers. You can define it in different way. One way is that you come to the game part, and then the opponent says that I want to play with you chess, and then you win. Or the opponent say I want to play checkers, and you again win. This is one understanding that you can win both games, and the opponent may choose which one you win. Another is that you come and you see two boards, and you make moves on both boards, and you have to win both games. So this is different kind of conjunction.
We have two conjunctions, this one and this one. This is called choice conjunction, choice and this is called just, say, parallel and. And this game means that we want to win two games in parallel on both, on two boards, and this one that we want we must win the game chosen by our opponent.
So also there is also general philosophical comment which could be useful.
I don't understand what do you mean on the parallel game.
Oh, parallel means that you play them, so to say, in interleaving form. So you can move on one, make move on one board. The next move can be also made on that board, then to switch to another board.
So it's a usual game theoretic notion of sum of games.
Okay, call them sum.
Yeah,
or not,
no,
I don't know.
No. Yes, it is. The question is that here the games are static, so you are not obliged to synchronize things. So if you imagine that you make move on any time you want, so you just move on both boards, and then the referee looks on separately on the one game and another game, and you should win.
So in the first game, you need to win both plays. In the second game, you need to win the play chosen by your opponent, but only one of them. So you play only one.
So choice is like pi and parallel and is like
lambda.
Yeah.
So this is lambda, this is pi. So is it clear how to define this operation in general? So if you have a static game A and B, how do you find this one and this one?
It is unclear in the case of chess and checkers, I should say. Because of course, if you play chess and checkers in parallel, it's a very different game from chess and checkers. And I don't understand you can win both chess and checkers and fail in
No.
this,
In parallel,
complicated game.
it doesn't. You don't. You have just two boards. Like imagine the two players. They have different boards and they play each game on each board separately. You don't need to decide whether this time you make a move in chess or in checkers. Never. You can make moves wherever you want. So like in real match, when you play against several players, they make the move whenever they want, and you make the move wherever they want.
Миша, сеанс одновременной игры.
So you are a grossmeister who gave a chess checker seance, how to say it.
Yes, you are Grossmeister and you play against two different people. One is chess, with one you play chess, with another you play checkers. But you can wait, you can make several moves with chess player and then only proceed to checkers game and so on. So formally, the moves here in this game are looks like that. It specifies the game where you play, and then it's the move in that game. And the winning condition is as follows: you extract all the sequence of moves made in the first game, and the resulting sequence should be a winning run for you in that game. And then you also extract all the sequence of moves made in the second game. And that sequence of moves should also be a winning run in that game. Misha, does it make
something is fishy here?
I don't understand why, if I have a winning strategy for this parallel game, I can convert it into winning strategy for both games.
Okay, imagine you want to win on the first game. Then on the other game, the opponent doesn't do anything. He makes all the moves on the first game, and you have to react somehow. And this will be the winning strategy in chess.
So in your mind, you do not make for the opponent any moves on the second board, and just apply your strategy.
No, I think there is some misunderstanding. Mish, just ask again.
Maybe, I don't know. Suppose I have a winning strategy for this parallel implementation of two games. Why I have a winning strategy in one of them?
Okay, imagine you are ready to come to the hall, and you are ready to win against two players, one playing chess, another playing checkers. And now the checkers player did not come. Then you can just make some stupid moves or make no moves on the checkers part, and still you are obliged to win both games. So you will win the chess game. No, it's kind of obvious. So if it's not obvious, some definition is missing.
It's very confusing that you use chess and checkers as an example, because chess and checkers are not static games, and
No, they are static games. You are just writing.
No, they are not static games.
No. You should just write the number
they
of moves.
not satisfy delay and condition.
No. If you just have you come. I don't know. You write 1 e2 e4, and the opponent writes 1 e7 e5. So if you don't make a move, then when it's your turn, you lose. Okay. Maybe it's confusing, but still.
Misha, and assuming that these are really static games, is it then clear?
In your long discussion, I thought that I heard a definition, but it was buried inside a long discussion of chess, checkers, and
okay. Forget about checkers and chess. So what is this game? So the moves look like that. M1 means the first game, N, or M2 means the second game, N, and the same for environment, right? And now assume that you have a certain run, and we need to define in which case it belongs to M, to the set of runs won by machine. To define this, we delete from the sequence all the moves with the second component 2. We obtain moves in the first game. So that sequence should belong to M, to M1, to the winning set for machine in the first game. And that's it.
And at the same time, if we delete all the first things, it should belong to M2.
Yes, right. We have two conditions, two requirements for machine to win. Now, is it clear, Mish?
I think so. So actually, you convert a run in combined game into 2 runs in both games.
Right.
And both of them should be winning for machine.
Yes.
Okay.
And also an easy observation is that we obtain again static games. So postponing doesn't hurt to any player.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. And this game has a computable winning strategy if and only if both games have computable strategy. And this is true for both versions of AND, parallel or choice AND.
But Misha, and is it clear what is this choice AND now?
I think so.
So the first move in this game should be always the the environment move. M, choose 1 or 2. M, choose.
Yeah, we should somehow.
And then they play the chosen game.
Yeah, if M makes a move before E, M loses.
Mm-hmm.
So M should wait until E makes a move.
Yeah, I see.
And if E has not made a choice, then it loses.
Yeah. No, you come to some and nobody comes to play against you, so...
Mm-hmm. And also we have also dual operations, or 2 ors also, defined just similarly.
But just say which notation is for what?
This is choice or.
So you select a game.
Yeah, you select a game now. Choice or, and you need to win it. And this one you play in parallel to games parallel or.
But it's enough for you to win one.
Yeah, it's enough to win only one. Mm-hmm. So, and also we have negation.
Which means that we just exchange the players.
Yes, exchange the roles of the players. So that's the easiest operation from all this lot. We just change M is exchanged with A, the set of winning runs of M becomes a set of winning runs of environment, and the other way around.
But negation does not preserve computably decidable games.
Of course, no. The easier is the game A, the more complicated is not A.
Right.
It should not. It should work in the opposite direction. But now I think it's time to think about a question. Imagine we have game P, and we consider P or not P.
To
and
be
we
or
can
not
consider
to be.
both games.
This one, Sasha.
No, I want to consider both games.
Uh-huh. P
and then
and this one.
Yeah. So do we have some of them, I guess, should have a winning strategy for us because this is a law of excluded middle.
Whatever P we choose, P
Yeah.
is some game. We do not have any information about P. P is just a static game.
So I expect one of them to be always computable.
So which one?
So what do people think about this?
Well, parallel definitely not always.
Why not?
Because, for example, for the question to decide set, like the parallel version of this works for any set. We just attempt to say yes or no, and no, and then we win.
No.
One of them.
Parallel is just you say that parallel we can.
Opponent. Okay.
No, but imagine on one board.
Can give us different
Yeah,
examples.
they ask about whether 3 is in set, and then in the other game they ask whether 5 is in the set, and you need to provide some answers.
Wait. In this game, we ask for whether n is set, but in this game the opponent asks. So here we make a move, and here the opponent makes a move.
Yeah. Sorry. It's a different thing.
So if P is decide A, then in this game the opponent, the environment asks whether n is in A. But here we are allowed to ask whether n is.
No, so Ham, this no, it's parallel or choice. I don't understand.
This is parallel. This one.
Yeah. So in one game they ask, in other game we ask, and the choice one is that we come and say that we want to win this in this game.
Yes. Here we come and say we want to win this game.
Yeah. So let's see who has the winning strategy in which game.
But by the way, recall that the game Decide has also always a winning strategy, but probably not computable.
For
So
every
the winning
set
strategy so this is always won by machine.
Yeah. So the question is whether the strategy is computable, but the strategy exists.
Negation is won by environment. So we have no hope to win in parallel game.
No, we need to win only one.
Only one, Misha.
What if we mirror environment moves?
Right. If we just mimic environment's move, we mean we win this game. So this is always computably winnable.
Please explain. I don't understand.
Now, for example, assume that a P is decide A. So how we play this game? First of all, we wait until the environment makes the move in this game, right? If it doesn't, we already win this. Once the environment provides an A, we make a move in this game which is identical to this, the same n. And now we are again.
Oh, I see. It's a rather simple strategy. I see, yeah.
It's like you can play with two Grossmeisters chess by letters, so you guarantee that you will have even count. You just
it's
send
an old
moves of
joke.
one of them to the other one.
If you play white with one Grossmeister and black with another one.
Yeah. No, but now we have static games, so we don't. We just wait until the opponent makes move and copy this move in the other game.
Yes, but still we need to play white in one and black in
the
another.
conditions should be opposite, otherwise we cannot win. Yeah. So we have the same run up to this postponing condition in both cases, and so it should be winning for one of the games.
So this is always computably winnable, just by mimicking environment's move. And what about this?
But sorry, I have a question. Suppose, suppose if environment makes a move and we don't, we are losing, yeah?
No, it depends on the definition of the game.
Yes, and if we
We
are
get a
not
finite
losing,
run.
then this strategy does not work.
Misha,
Because-
do you ask about a concrete game?
No. Now I try to
general.
understand how it works
General,
in general.
we
situation.
keep the invariant. After some hour move, the positions in this game are identical. So here we have some position alpha, and here also some position alpha.
No, actually, we cannot make them identical if the environment makes moves very fast, and we don't. We can make later the moves somehow.
So
Okay,
assume,
I see.
first of all, Sasha, we have seen that all the ways to play the game are equivalent. So assume the way which is more convenient for us. So we are allowed to play, make several moves in our turn, and the environment only one of them. Then we can keep this invariant, right?
We don't need even to make many moves. We just copy the move made by the environment in the other game.
Right. You're right. So when the game ends, we will have our environment, and so if alpha belongs to M, we win this one. We win this play. Otherwise, we win this play. Misha, is it clear how to keep the environment and why?
Yes.
No, you say environment and invariant in the same way, so it's a bit confusing.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But still, you can guess what you want to say.
Okay, Sasha Kazachinsky, is it clear? Sasha doesn't
Sasha
respond.
probably lost connection.
So, okay, let's ask Laran. Laran, is it clear?
Yeah, it's quite clear for this game. It's a bit trickier to see what the other one means for the choice
This
order,
one.
but for the parallel order, it's quite clear. Yes.
And here, let's say we want to win deck A or not deck A.
No, for every A, there is a strategy that wins the first one. So
Assume that we
if
want
don't care about computability, then we can win this OR.
Right. And if we care about the computability, then if A is not decidable, then we lose this. And why is this? If we choose this one, we can't win it because A is not computable, not decidable. So we have no algorithm to decide to find the correct answer. And if we choose this one, we lose just because the environment has a winning strategy, not computable, but it doesn't. We do not care.
So just a general remark. Imagine we don't care about computability. We just map every game to 0 or 1, depending whether we win or the opponent wins, using any strategy. Then it's standard logical operations.
Yes. If we consider, for example, only determined games, right? Then this is sort of winnable for every A. In one of the games, we have a winning strategy. If we consider also indeterminate game, any indeterminate game, then this game can't be won for us because we have no winning strategy neither here or here.
And also it cannot be won by the opponent, which is a bit strange. So it's better not to consider such a bad things.
Okay. This is somehow explains the difference between these two operations. And now we are quite close to define implication, which mimics their mimics Turing reductions. So let's consider infinite versions of parallel operations. This one is defined as A or A. So we need to win infinite countably many.
No, all of them or some of them?
At least one here and here all. And there are two different ways to define what does it mean that we play the infinitely countably many identical games. How would you define it? Sasha, how would you define, for example?
There are several options. So one, we can come and see the infinitely many boards, and the opponent starts playing on any boards they want.
All the boards are, so to say, in initial position, so
yeah.
No moves made.
Yeah. And our goal is to win at least in one of them.
Right. And this is called exponential or, see, doesn't
exponential?
Matter.
Why exponential?
Oh, forget about this. Recurrence, called it recurrent or.
Okay.
Parallel recurrent or. And this is parallel recurrent and this was considered, I mean, strangely enough, but these two operations were defined only in our papers with Mezhirov. The other authors didn't consider them, the most natural operations. So Blass has considered the following version of this, the first game. In this option, you are allowed to copy any position. So you come in a room with only one black board, chessboard, say, in initial position. Then you your move is either to copy this position on the second board or to make a move in it. And at any time, your choice is either to create a new board in which you can copy a position from any existing board, or you can make a move in on a certain blackboard, and you need to win at least one game. So this is this game is easier for environment than parallel recurrent or, and this is called branching recurrence.
But why it's easier? That I don't understand. No, because in our chess example, imagine we don't know how to react to some interesting move of our opponent. Then we can copy this position and make all the possible moves.
So this is easier for you, right? Because you can copy position. I mean, this is easier.
So easier for us.
Yeah, these are for machine. This one, I mean, this is easier. Question mark recurrence. Or is easier. And this is harder for the opponent, of course, because the same thing is allowed to the environment. But let's forget about this difference and consider, for example, parallel recurrence, not branching one. Because for this talk, the difference is not very important. So forget Blass's definition. By the way, Blass hasn't considered winning, I mean, computable versions. He has just considered non-computable versions, and he used it to define reductions on games. So he, so to say, wanted to classify indeterminate games into more indeterminate and less indeterminate, and considered a reduction on games using these operations.
Oh,
and
so he considered two indeterminate game, and then implication can be still determined.
Right.
And this is so he's rather high in this abstract hierarchy. He's in for him all the determined games are more or less trivial. He doesn't care about them.
And now we have come to our main goal. We are able to now define Turing reductions, and this is called implication. So we will consider the following implication. We will say A is a static game, B is a static game, and we define that this is the following game. Oh, let's forget about outer brackets. Or equivalently, and this is a game to where we want to win B, given as advice the moves made by the opponent, which tries to win not A. So that means that the opponent plays A in the role of the machine. And this is mimics the problem to reduce B to A. So formally, we have the following lemma. For example, deck A implication deck B is computably winnable
if and only B is Turing reducible to A.
Right. If and only if B Turing reduces to A, which is again trivial if you understand the definitions.
So let's see. So we need.
So what is the game? This game.
You have one board when you need to win B.
Yes.
So you can in this board you can wait until the opponent asks something.
Yeah, the opponent,
because if the opponent doesn't ask, he wins. We win.
Mm-hmm. We can wait until the environment asks some n, whether n belongs to B. And on this board, we may ask as many questions to the environment as we want at the same time. So we can ask about some n, for example, or some other m, or whatever. And our goal is to win at least one game, preferably this one. I mean, to give a correct answer. But it doesn't matter. We can also win one of these games. And in all these games, either the environment provides a correct answer to our question, or it loses. And so if we know that B Turing reduces to A, we start that reduction, we run the machine that reduces n B to A on that input, and that machine makes queries to Oracle, and all those queries are copied to moves of the our moves to the environment. If environment doesn't answer any query or answers incorrectly, it immediately loses. So we do not care what happens after that. But if the environment answers all the questions correctly,
and we give an incorrect answer or do not give an answer, this is when we lose.
Yes, but the machine that reduces B to A provides a correct answer, so that we win this play. In the case B Turing reduces to A.
No, so formally you proved in one direction. If B is Turing reducible to A, then this formula is winnable.
Yes,
winnable.
I have proven this direction, right? But the other direction is also easy.
So you just, being an opponent, you start asking about some elements of B, and then when the player asks something about A, you just use the oracle to provide the correct answers, and the only way of winning the game for the opponent will be to provide the correct answer for the question. So there is a reduction of B to A.
Mm-hmm. Don't understand.
So Sasha tried to explain the converse implication.
Yeah, right? I see. The converse is more interesting, but I don't understand Sasha's explanation.
Okay, let someone repeat this. Who understands this?
Well, we are looking at the winning strategy, and each
try to construct a machine that computes
yes.
B given A. Oracle.
Yes, it's basically well, it interprets A as a move of environment. Oh, sorry, it interprets B as move on environment in deck B, and then each time the machine plays inside question negation deck A, our algorithm.
So we know that there is a computable strategy, so we follow this computer strategy, and sometimes the strategy asks something about element of A in the role of the opponent in deck A.
Yes, and at that point, our algorithm for deciding B queries the same element to the oracle. And then the oracle's answer is interpreted as a move of environment in the corresponding subgame.
And the environment wins that subgame because the answer is correct. Yes. And because we win the entire game, we need at some point make a move in the game deck A, deck B, and that move should be a correct answer to the question whether N belongs to B, and that's it.
So is it better? Georgi made a better job of explaining this, or is this still not clear?
It's not completely clear, but it makes more understandable.
So you just play this computable strategy for this game, and then the opponent asks something. If you want to reduce B to A, you just make a move about this. Imagine the opponent makes a move asking B, and then you can make moves, and these moves will be either the answer. That's okay, or you may postpone the answer and ask first some elements of A. But then, using the oracle, we can simulate the correct moves of the opponent.
Yeah, but I think, Sasha, you make it sound in your explanation like, you don't know what this quote-unquote opponent is doing. I think what's more clear is like you kind of use this, I don't know, opponent or as a kind of a tool somehow. You have like this computable strategy, right? And then you use it for simulation.
Yeah.
Is closer to the reality. Because in your explanation, you make it sound like we don't really know in advance what is going to do, but in fact, we use this strategy as a puppet for ourselves.
Yeah.
Right? This is more what's going on, right?
Yeah. Okay, Misha, is it now better?
It's better.
Yes, it's better, but I should think about it.
Okay, it's not forbidden, by the rules of the game. Okay,
not so fast.
And now we can prove, so to say, uniform version of Post theorem. So consider the game enum A, and consider the parallel end enum complement on A of A implies decay, and that is winnable, actually uniformly winnable for all A's. So is computably winnable. Uniform version of Post theorem.
But in this case, since in the implication we already make infinitely many copies, we can use any version of conjunction, yeah?
Here.
Yeah,
right,
here.
right. But actually, actually, we even can win the following game. Enum A. So this is recall that this is this guy. So formally, if we expand the definition, we obtain the following thing: enum A and enum complement of A, like that, or dec A. If we expand this further, we will obtain this guy, yen of A, or not yen of complement of A, or dec A. But actually, we don't need even this question mark. We can win even this guy. So more or less, this holds not only for Turing reduction, but also for many one reduction.
Not really many one.
No, I don't know how to call it. So we can win this guy. Actually.
Yeah. So Laurent reminds us that it's only 5 minutes official time.
Yeah, right.
So
it's
I
very
think
good.
no, I think now we had a very nice talk. We have a nice definitions and very easy lemmas. There was no difficult theorem. We just need to be accustomed to it and so on. So maybe in remaining 5 minutes, you will just explain what can be shown in general about these things, and then we continue next time, because I like the definitions very much, and it's better not to hurry.
First of all, I mean, actually, there is not much to show next time. So what can we demonstrate here? First of all,
no. So, for example, do we have an interpretation for some kind of logic, like intuitionistic logic or something like this?
Right. We can prove that this is a model for linear logic of Girard.
Oh, this is a magic thing. There is a very famous thing which I never could understand. What
or
is
also intuitionistic logic. And we can explore also further this, we can explore how some theorem in theory of algorithm are expressed as games, and also compare this to Medvedev's approach. So,
so in Medvedev, for example, can we somehow embed Medvedev things in this one?
Yes, and the other way around. So they are, how to say, we can embed Medvedev to this and the other way around also.
But you need to explain what does it mean, because in Medvedev we have a classical only one in conjunction, only one disjunction, and so on.
I meant only this fragment of Medvedev, this, and this. I mean, also only 3 operations. So,
and what, for example, what about logical complexity? Imagine you write a formula including these things.
But wait, Sasha.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. When we try to embed one to another, we see that there are some differences. And so they are not mutually interpretable, I'm afraid.
Okay.
Because for Medvedev, the implication is defined in a quite different way. And I will explain that. What's the difference between Medvedev's approach?
Then the question about complexity. Imagine you have a formula which contains variables for games and these operations. And can we have an algorithm which looks on this formula and says who has whether M has a winning strategy or not, a computable winning strategy or not?
I mean, for all, how do you interpret the variables in that formula as arbitrary games? Right?
Arbitrary game. No, of course,
for some versions, it's decidable, and I guess there is a very deep result of somebody that even it's probably I heard from Shechtman that it is decidable, but I don't know how to prove it.
Okay, so the task is to bring Shechtman to the next talk and ask him what is known about this. Or you can ask him in advance, but the easiest way is just to to convince him to come and make some comments about this.
Okay.
But also there is some kind of another thing which I would like to ask. So there are some different versions of conjunction. We have at least 2 versions of conjunction for infinite games. But there could be also, I don't know, you can, a strange one, you just could agree that you are ready to win, I don't know, 2 copies of, or 10 copies of A. It's this quotation mark, not quotation mark, exclamation mark, is just 10 copies of A, for example. Is there some result saying that all these operations are somehow different? Just what I'm saying, that there are different ways to define the implication, So for the conjunction, they are just technically different. So for example, you can, I don't know, say that one game should be started first, or you can postpone the other game at some point, or there are some technical things which seem to be relevant. And there are other things, for example, whether you allow 3 copies or 5 copies, and they look like something relevant. But is it possible to say exactly what does it mean irrelevant? So and prove that something is irrelevant and something is relevant.
I guess so. You can just consider an example where 5 copies are harder than 3 copies.
So you say that the implication from 5 copies to 3 copies is computably winnable, and implications for 3 copies to 5 copies not computably winnable.
Right?
Yeah. Okay, another question. Imagine we have a form, we define a formula as a law if it's always computably winnable. And now we have a new definition. A formula is a weak law if it's always has a strategy which is computable with 0 prime. Is it the same class or not?
I think with 0 prime it's simpler to win.
So there is some game, not of course specific game can be easier to win. No, if the game is to decide halting problem, of course it's easier to do it
on the level of the class of formulas with 3 variables.
And we have just 3 variables without any constants, 3 variables and logical formulas. And we know that some game always has...
Sasha, even the problem whether computable winnability is different from uniform computable winnability is open. So uniform computable winnability means then there is one strategy computing that wins all the instances, and just uniform and just computable winnability of a formula means that whatever game you substitute for variables, you obtain a computably winnable, and it is unknown whether this is the same. So I guess your question about 0 prime.
But it's strange if you have a deciding algorithm saying whether a formula has a computable winning strategy or not, then it seems that this decision algorithm should provide as a byproduct, should provide the result which you
no, maybe, but it's so important. So I mean, it's so complicated. So it's more complicated than that you say that's vector addition problem, which is also decidable.
But why it's vector? What is the connection with vector addition problem?
Because vector addition problems can be
reduced to this one.
Reduced to this one, and actually, and yes, and that's the connection.
Oh God. And who proves this?
Who solved vector addition systems?
No, there are many people who claim to solve them, and they claim that the solutions are easier and easier.
So
the first was Casarayu, I think.
I need to ask Shechtman. He knows that.
Yeah. Okay, so I think we have a lot of topics for the next time, starting from the linear logic. Maybe you will be the first one who will able to explain me what it is, because all the time before I forgot this. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So we if there are no questions, we meet.
I have a comment which is relevant to this talk.
Yeah, please make an irrelevant comment.
Okay. There is a plan to organize a kind of online seminar, some kind of North Atlantic seminar on algorithmic aspects of information theory, somehow in vein of this Dagstuhl seminar that some of you visited this July. And the plan...
Funded by NATO, I guess, if it's not Atlantic, yeah.
No, founded by me so far. The optimistic plan that it will begin next Wednesday. It will happen, okay, hopefully it will happen 2 times a month. And the plan is to begin with lectures of Laszlo Chirmaz about information inequalities. I think it will be not, maybe it will be not very exciting for experts who know most of this stuff, but I guess it must be useful for students who have heard about this non-Shannon type inequalities, but do not understand what is it all about and why is it is interesting.
I would say the opposite. So if you never heard about entropies, probably you will be lost. But if you know what is entropy and know some inequalities, then you can enjoy other inequalities.
No, if you're lost, it's not a problem. The talks will be recorded. So if you're lost, then you can ask all your questions to me. I will explain you very slowly. And next week you can listen to the same talk again.
Yeah.
So just distribute the link, Andrei. So,
yes, yeah.
It will be sent to the seminar.
Yeah, I will do it tonight or tomorrow.
And I hope that anyone who wants to get the link who want to get messages from our seminar group have this. So if you want to get the message but you don't get them, just send me the requirement and I will include you in the list. This is just Google group, so it's just all the messages are sent automatically. So please tell that you want to get them. So next time, continuation of Kolya's talk.
Okay. Good.
Yeah. But now there is no cat. This is kind of disappointing.
How do you know that there is no cat?
No, in the talk.
Actually, Sasha is right. No cat. So the
cat is sent to the village.
Yes, right.
I'm afraid. Yeah. But okay. Only mouses. Yeah.